They need a substitution here. Oh, yes, they found the formula now. It's a numbers game, plus Santander. A perfect partnership on BT Sport.
Hello and welcome to It's a Numbers Game. I'm Dr. Hannah Fry.
And I'm Pippa Monique, and we're back to bring you more of the sensational secrets of science at the heart of every sport.
Pippa, what are you doing?
Well, today we have yet another jam-packed show as we serve up the secrets to spin bowling.
Yeah, but what are you doing up there?
We're looking at the streamlined design of football kits with England legend Steve McManaman.
Pippa, why are you on a crane?
Because today's show is all about aerodynamics.
Welcome back to the ground, Pippa. That was some quite good throwing of paper airplanes there.
Thanks.
How are you at making them?
I honestly don't remember. It's been a long time, but I should be all right.
Do you want to give it a go?
Yeah, you got more paper?
Yeah, there's paper just under there. People have actually been playing with the aerodynamics of paper airplanes for a really long time. So there's some evidence that in China, people were using origami to make these sort of things 2,500 years ago, which is basically 2,400 years before airplanes ever existed. And people now do this in a competitive way, make these things. Like your attempt there, Pippa.
I'm trying. I'm trying to remember how it's done exactly. So
it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So, of course, aerodynamics plays a huge role in all kinds of sports. In cycling, especially, where people are really concerned about drag. In Formula One, where people are really concerned about downforce. And across the board, the forces that you're talking about are pretty much the same thing, even in a simple paper airplane. Let's have a look. It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I mean, I don't think I'll be entering any competitions. But...
Well, we could try against a few of these. So, whenever anything is airborne, there's only really four things that are possibly going on.
Okay.
So you've got thrust, which is basically how hard you can chuck it.
Yeah.
Weight, which you can't really do anything about because it's just an A4 sheet of paper. But then the two that are important are lift, which is the force that's holding it up, and drag, which is kind of pulling it backwards effectively. This one... The wings are really skinny, can you see? So it's just not going to provide that much lift. This one here, though, this special beauty, this is the design that holds the world record for the longest flight by a paper airplane. It doesn't look particularly special, does it?
No.
OK, but it is. It really is.
I need to see it. OK,
so for starters, the clever thing about this is it's got lots of folds at the front, but nice and neat. So a lot of the weight of this paper airplane is right at the front. So when you throw it, its nose is down, which means that it picks up speed really, really quickly. And then once it gets to the right speed, these wings, which are really wide, providing lots of lift, they fold up in the air, which brings the tail down and the nose up and allows it to glide for much longer. So I'm, slightly obsessed with it.
Well, it's kind of underwhelming. It doesn't look like it will do much.
OK, but wait until you see them fly. Should you go back up on your crane?
Yes.
It's quite high up here.
Oh, we get a nice new view now.
OK, you got your paper airplanes there?
Yeah, can I throw the one that I made?
Yeah.
If I remember which one it is.
OK, let's see how you do. Okay.
Wow. It's more of a twirly-whirly.
It set us a benchmark. Now we know what there is to be. OK, so next to you, you've got a few of the sort of standard darts.
Yeah.
That design. So this is the same design as yours, but the only difference is along the creases, we used like a card just to score along it to make it as neat as possible. So it's the same idea, but let's see how this one does.
Ah, that's better.
That was pretty good. Yeah, so you see how it's got that nice soft arc and then it just gets to a point where it just nosedives to the ground. Can I show you the special one though?
The one that you said is so amazing.
Honestly, I'm not exaggerating, I'm so into this.
Okay.
Okay, let's have a look, see how far I can get it. Here we go.
So this is the world record one?
Yeah, this is the one that's using the world record. And the world record is ridiculously far. We're not going to get it quite that far today.
Woo! It's still going. I mean, if the wall wasn't there, it would have taken a flight around the world.
Just come back in this way.
I mean, aerodynamics isn't just in F1 and cycling. You find it everywhere, even in sports you wouldn't expect. But what sort of difference is it having on football kits? And what sort of difference has it made? Well, joining us to see is kit expert Andrew Mensah and Champions League winning England legend Steve McManaman.
Thanks, Pippa. I feel like you've stolen my show here, but I'm happy because I'm with an absolute legend in Steve McManaman, and I'm all about style here, yeah? So I can see...
Not a lot.
But how did you like your kits to fit you? Because, like, so long after your retirement, it still fits you good now. So how did you like your kits to fit you back then?
To be very honest, I didn't have any thought about what kits were supposed to be like. Somebody gave me a shirt and I put it on, and it was as simple as that. And if you see the pictures there, I've got a long sleeve one on in that particular shot. And, you know, I think it must have been in June. So the fact that I've just got a long sleeve shirt and it's quite baggy on me, somebody's given me it. Somebody's given me a pair of shorts and a pair of socks. And it's, you know, get ready, let's go and play football. And that's what it was about.
All right, we're going to move on slightly. Yeah? We've got this candy tap. For me, this is the most iconic football shirt in the Premier League era. Talk to me through your memories of this shirt here.
Extremely proud moment to actually wear this kit. I joined Liverpool when I left school. So to go through the process of being an apprenticeship, a YTS player at the time, the 2 years, and then becoming a pro, which was a proud moment. Then to run out at Anfield was, you know, a moment I'll never forget.
Now, when I see this shirt here, this is a kick. Champions League final. Talk to me, you put that shirt on. Was you feeling yourself that day?
Yeah, well, as everybody recognises with Real Madrid, we normally wear white. And it was the final. We were the away team. I played another Spanish team in Valencia who wore orange on that day. So I don't know why we couldn't wear the white. But anyway, as soon as we left the field to celebrate, we all put white on because, of course, everybody associates with Real Madrid as you've got that lovely shirt on.
Like it? I brought it out for you.
I think the Kelme kit is very original, isn't it?
So, Steve, I could talk to you all day about shirts, but Hannah's over here with someone special to talk about the actual science behind football shirts.
Yeah, we are all about getting the scientific secrets on this show. So I am delighted to be joined by Theon Appleton, who has the amazing job of designing kits like these and many others, Theon. You've worked on some really iconic shirts in your time.
Yes, I worked on Real Madrid shirts, 2 of these here, the Brazil shirts.
All blacks as well, right?
And the All Black shirts, yes.
I mean, some of them, I can imagine, Theon, I imagine the design of this one was quite straightforward.
Yes, actually, but all the science is there. You just can't see it. It's all very hidden because it should look like an old-fashioned shirt, but with all the science.
What kind of science goes into making these sorts of shirts?
We engineer breathability and we look at the weight of the shirt. So the shirt needs to be lightweight and then we need to wick sweat away from the body.
How much does aerodynamics come into it when you're designing a shirt?
Well, it comes into it a lot. When you see the 90s shirts, for instance, they were quite big and baggy and I don't think aerodynamics came into it then at all. It was much more about the fashion and the style. But now kits are more streamlined, they're more tailored to the body.
Well, it's funny you should mention, actually, about how the older shirts were much baggier and less aerodynamic, because, of course, we've got Steve McManaman in a 90s shirt, so we thought we'd do a very unscientific experiment of sticking him in front of a fan. You up for that, Steve?
Of course, I'm very happy for that.
It's the kind of science experiment I like. Steve, are you ready?
I'm absolutely ready, mate.
About to blow you away. Put the goggles on.
OK, I'm ready. How's it looking?
You look good. You look good. You look like you're in a music video or something.
About to take off.
You look like Leonardo DiCaprio.
Flying away.
It's definitely flapping around quite a lot there, though.
You can see I've done that before, can't you?
Right, so that's the kit from the 90s. Let's get you changed and we'll see how a more modern kit stacks up against our fan test.
OK.
Yes, Mac. You're looking good, man. New shirt. When you was playing, though, did you get a new shirt every game?
No, when I played for Liverpool, we had to keep... we couldn't swap our shirts. We were not allowed, even if you played, 100, 200 games and you play for your country. You had to keep it because you had to wear it the next game.
Did you have to go home? Did you have to go home and wash it?
It's all about saving money. That's what it's all about, saving the environment.
I love that act. So we're going to see how this new kit tests against our fan. I need you with the goggles.
Yeah, of course.
Blowing you away again. That's twice in a row.
Ready. I'm ready.
Ready.
Hugging.
Still got that model pose, I like
it. Is there a big difference?
Yeah.
There's a bit less drag.
How did that feel? Different?
No, not particularly. I mean, I think aesthetically, it has to look different, but, of course...
You look good in that, man.
Did I look good? I always look good in white.
Well, I could talk about the combination between fashion and aerodynamics for hours, but I know that Pippa wants to talk about the game itself. So, Pippa, over to you.
I'm here with our resident statsman, Duncan Alexander from Opta. Duncan, what have you got for us today?
Well, today's show is about the sweet spot, and that fits quite neatly with something called expected goals, so we should start with that, I guess.
I hear a lot about expected goals. What exactly is that?
Well, it maybe should be called something like, he should have scored from there, or why is he shooting from there, matrix, or something like that, because it doesn't predict anything in the future, which I think some people think. It's actually just rating chance quality by looking at all the shots that have ever happened, relatively, and saying, you know, what the chances are of scoring from that position. So if we look at this this exciting pitch here, we can see, you know, the 6-yard box, that has a really high XG value if you get a shot in there, because generally you're going to score, you know, 50% or more of the time. A penalty, that's got an XG rating of 78 or, you know, 0.78, because that's pretty much the conversion rate of penalties. And then shooting from long range, you know, maybe only 1 or 2% chance of scoring. The thing is, when they go in, people remember them. I mean, this example here is an actual goal. A long throw comes in, headed out. Number 8 shoots, and it goes in that time. But you could probably argue that he should have maybe passed to a teammate, might have been better off.
But it still went in.
It went in. In fact, Steve, do you recognise that at all?
Yeah, I do recognise it, yeah. And it definitely shouldn't have passed it to a teammate.
No, I think it should.
It certainly looked better when it went in from outside the box.
Yeah, nice. I mean, that would have probably been maybe sort of 9 or 10%.
A special goal that would have been.
But, you should own that. I know
particularly in the game it was in. That's probably gone up from 9 or 10% to about 80%.
So what game was that exactly from?
That was from the Champions League final.
Oh, big one.
Scissor kick.
Yeah, just a little big one.
So, Steve, as someone who has quite literally scored a goal on the biggest stage of all, how do you feel about all the, you know, the data and the numbers that are in the game now?
I think the data's great. I think nowadays, of course, there's an avalanche of data, which is fantastic. I don't think there's any problem with that at all. And I think it's up to the individual managers to tailor certain pieces of information for certain players. Of course, if you're a right back, you'll need different information than the centre forward would. You know, a winger would have different information than a sitting centre midfielder. So I think it's all brilliant. I just don't think you need to overload every single player with every piece of data. Otherwise, they won't take it seriously. But I think if you tailor-made certain pieces for certain players, I think it's fantastic help.
OK, Duncan, you mentioned earlier about sweet spots. So where exactly is the best place to score a free kick from?
Well, that kind of varies on the player, I think, because different techniques. I mean, one of the most curious seasons I've seen in terms of free kicks was Yaya Toure at Man City, in fact, in 2013-14. He only took 7 all season in the Premier League, but he scored with 4 of them, which is like a better ratio than a lot of players have from the penalty spot. And actually, it was almost like he'd invented a new kind of penalty, because most of them came in or around the D, and he was able to kind of get power and up and over the wall or around the wall. And it's just one of those brief periods where it just seemed to work.
So when it comes to technique, though, are Messi and Ronaldo the best in the world?
No.
Oh?
No.
Really?
No, it's true. I mean, what they are is 2 of the greatest players ever in football history. So they get, if they say, can I take the free kick? Their teammates are like, yeah, go on.
Go for it.
Yeah, but Ronaldo, he didn't score a free kick for Juventus until his 43rd attempt. And with Portugal, in international tournaments, it took him 45 attempts before he scored a free kick. Now, no one's going to take him off him.
Yeah.
But if you're going to take that many free kicks, you'd expect to get a few more goals. I mean, Steve, you played with Roberto Carlos, who was probably a similar sort of player.
You're right. When he played for Real Madrid, he virtually took every free kick on the power of that one free kick that he scored. And I'd love to see his free kick to goals ratio, because most of them I remember were either in the crowd or hit the wall. They were almost dangerous.
Michael, so you had, obviously in your team, Roberto Carlos, Figo, Zidane, so many good free kick takers. Was you ever tempted to have a go yourself?
No, I wasn't. I think if you get a free kick taker and there's a sort of pecking order, you allow them just to go through their routine. So if one's missed and the other one's missed, if it ever got to number 8, number 9, the free kick, I'd give it a go. But I'd leave it to them. Normally we'd be winning at that time anyway, so it wouldn't mean that much.
Well, after hearing about the best spot for free kicks, I think it's only right that we have a look at some of the best from the Champions League. Check out the curve on these.
Goals are best when they're beautiful, and there are few things more pleasing on the eye than a free kick goal. The Champions League has the world's best players and the very best dead-eyed dead ball specialists. So sit back and enjoy some of the Champions League's greatest ever free kick goals from Europe's dead ball kings. First up, Danish defender Lasse Schön. Dutch champions Ajax stunned Real Madrid in 2019's round of 16 with this wickedly curled free kick from Schön, the icing on their cake. Leading 3-1 on the night and 4-3 on aggregate, Schön ended the contest from a position he had no right scoring from, sealing a 5-3 aggregate win and dumping Madrid out of the competition. Pretty sure it was a cross though. Next up, Real Madrid and Brazil's Casemiro. Honing his skills on loan at Porto in 2015, he had never scored a goal in European competition until he did this. From nearly 30 yards out, Casemiro hits the ball with enormous speed and just enough spin to dip it under the bar and leave the keeper completely helpless. Pick that out! Finally, the magnificent Lionel Messi. He's scored more than 50 free kicks in his career so far and is up there on the all-time free kick scoring chart with the likes of Pelé and Maradona. He scored so many it's impossible to pick one, so we did a lucky dip and pulled out this beauty from 2018 against PSV Eindhoven. For the first of his 3 goals on the night, Messi opened the scoring with this gorgeous curling effort that left the keeper grasping at thin air. He generates so much spin that the ball moves away from the keeper faster than he can try and get to it. When it comes to free kicks, you can always count on Messi to produce the magic. There you are, some of the most spectacular goals from the Champions League's free kick specialists. Catch us next week for more incredible action.
Well, football's great and all, but when it comes to the movement of the ball, nothing quite compares to cricket. And I am delighted to be joined by Charles Dagnall, who is an ex-professional player and now commentator. What kind of player were you, Charles?
I was a pretty ordinary one, I have to admit. I wasn't that good. But no, I managed to play for about 8 years and swing bowling was my thing, theoretically. So I was like a pound shop Jimmy Anderson.
Nice description. OK, so I have a theory, Charles, that no athlete is more connected to an object than a cricketer to the cricket ball.
Because I can see you holding that ball, I just want to grip it myself. Yes, bowlers love holding a new ball in their hand.
Talk me through the different types of bowling then. Let's start with spin bowling. OK,
I have a ball. Spin bowling is the idea that someone would bowl and it deviates when landing on the surface, one way or another. But
the whole idea of spin bowling, though, is that it makes the ball unpredictable. The movement of the ball is unpredictable on the bounce.
Absolutely right. And so it's trying to fox the batsman, and that idea of deception. He will try and play a shot. Once it lands and turns, then hopefully there'll be a catch somewhere waiting for someone in and around the field.
It's like literal sleight of hand that you're talking about.
Yeah, it is. It is. People think that cricket is a gentleman's game. It's so not. It's devious and there are dark arts involved. And it is a bowler trying to overcome the batsman, but in a variety of different ways. And there's lots of tools within their armouries to actually do that.
And one of the tools that I want to talk about is swing bowling. Yes. This idea that as the ball changes over the course of the game, you can use that to your advantage. Do you want to take one of those and show
me? I will. The idea of it being, basically, when the ball is coming down towards a batsman, it will come down in such a way that the air will hit it and skim across a shiny side. We're going to try and make it one side of the ball shiny, one side of the ball rough, so that when it goes down through the air, the rough side will pull the ball and basically go in the direction that you want it to.
So over the course of the game, you're like deliberately scuffing up one side, leaving the other side nice and slick. And then that rough side, you get really dirty, turbulent air, which has lower pressure, and the air just slips over this nice and smoothly.
Yep.
So you end up with pulling it towards the rough side.
Basically, yeah. That is the whole concept of it.
Go on then, give us a go.
You should be doing this, not me, OK? Might come out of retirement after that.
OK, so this ball here then, you use these sorts of balls in training?
Yeah, absolutely.
Rough on one side, which is to simulate what happens to the normal cricket ball during a game.
Correct.
And that makes a lot of sense, right? You'd get dirty air, lots of turbulence there, and nice and slip and smooth on the other side.
And that's what we're trying to do with the natural cricket ball. And if this side does get a little bit scuffed up, then we try and mend it, shine it, smooth it over, and so it becomes that slick surface. So theoretically, I'm going to hold the pimpled side towards the side that I actually want to, or the way I want it to go. So, right to left.
Very nice.
Yep.
Well, talking about balls flying through the air and bending in all sorts of directions, we thought we'd take a little look into something called the Magnus Effect. But what exactly is it? Pippa took a trip down to Swansea to meet Dr. Nick and find out.
Hey, Nick. What are we doing on a football pitch? What's the plan today?
Well, today we're going to look at the Magnus Effect.
What's that then?
Well, the Magnus Effect is when you put spin in a ball and it changes the way it moves. So if I throw you this ball, catch, I've put no spin on that and it goes in a straight line. If you put spin on a ball, then everything changes. If a ball travels in a straight line, then air flows symmetrically around the ball. When the ball spins, air is dragged around one side and the ball stops moving in a straight line and curves towards the direction of the spin.
Ah, so is that why a ball curves when you take a free kick?
Exactly. As you've seen, Sam takes a mean free kick. And now that we've seen how the Magnus Effect works, Sam, can you take another free kick, please? We can talk about the science. When a ball is kicked from right to left, it will start spinning anti-clockwise. And as the air around the ball is dragged around it, the ball will start to move through the air in the direction of the spin. OK, Pip, so we've seen the Magnus Effect and how it works. So if Sam were to take another free kick, do you think he'd get the same result?
Yeah, obviously.
OK, well, let's give it a go, except this time we're going to use this ball.
Well, I was kind of expecting that. Those balls are rubbish.
Aren't they just? Why do you think that happened, though?
Well, maybe because it's a light ball.
Yeah, that's right. It's partly because it's a light ball, but it's also about the surface. The regular football is not a perfectly smooth surface, so the air sticks to the surface. The lighter ball is much, much smoother, though, meaning that the air sticks much less. This means that although the ball starts moving in the direction you'd expect, it doesn't curve as much and rapidly loses its spin, causing it to change direction dramatically. So, that's how the Magnus Effect works in football, and that's the reason why footballers use proper balls.
I mean, we've all used footballs like those, whether it's our little brother or our friends. So why don't you grab one of those little footballs, head to the back garden or your local park and bend it like Magnus. Right, it's nearly time for our world record. But before we get into that, I want to talk to you, Doc, about shuttlecocks, because I've been playing badminton recently, and these things are quite incredible.
Yeah, they're kind of unique in a lot of ways in the sporting world, because most balls are designed to go faster, but the feathers on a shuttlecock are designed to increase drag and slow it down. They also mean that however you hit the shuttlecock, it will always fly with the cork first. Badminton is still quite a quick game, though, because a professional player can hit the shuttlecock with speeds of up to 200 miles an hour. But we're not going to be playing badminton with these today, I'm afraid. Instead, we are going to be attempting a world record.
Yes, that's right, because joining us in the studio is our current record-breaking champion, Ugo Monye. How's it going?
Yeah, good.
Hi, brother.
Yes, Andrew.
Well, so far he's been the best in the world at throwing balls in a sticky suit and chucking tea bags into cups. But today we have a challenge that's all about badminton.
That's right, because over here we have got a badminton serving machine that is going to whip out shuttlecocks at over 60 miles an hour. And Ugo, all you've got to do, you just got to catch more than 38 of these in 1 minute to break the world record.
Well, you got this. This is light work.
Okay.
Jack is a bit tight, but you got this.
And here to make sure our attempts meet all the criteria needed is Alan Pixley from Guinness World Records. How you doing, Alan? Do you like badminton?
Not really, no. I'm more a fan of chess.
Me too, Alan. Me too. Right, so we have got our machine in place, which is operated by Manny. Alan, when you're ready, count us in.
Let's do this, bro. You got this, bro.
Come on,
This is an official Guinness World Records attempt. Manny, please start firing the shuttlecocks. 3, 2, 1, go!
Come on, Ugo. Oh, this is easy. Go on, lad. Go on.
He's making it look easy.
Hey!
I like that.
Hey! Whoa.
Give me one hand, bro.
Don't break your back.
Give me one hand, bro. Yeah, my brother.
Get the record first.
Oh, what's happened?
Okay.
Here we go, come on.
There you
mess up his
go.
hand.
There you go. There you go.
Hey. Yes.
Too easy for him, man.
You know what?
Liking the rhythm here.
It's the machine that's going to be the limiting factor here to whether we get the number.
Yeah, because Ugo ain't dropped one.
Go, Ugo.
It's finding it so easy, but it's still taking it so serious.
I know.
Hey, why should I put me off, Anna?
Hey, come on, man.
That's not over the line, I don't count.
I was trying to get 100%. There you go.
Come on.
How long's left, Alan?
Surely.
Time.
Oh, that was hard.
That was nice.
Ugo attempted the Guinness World Records title for the most shuttlecocks caught in 1 minute. The record to beat was 38, and you achieved 42. Guinness World Records title. On behalf of Guinness World Records, it gives me great pleasure to announce that the most shuttlecocks caught in 1 minute is 42 and was achieved by Ugo. You are officially amazing.
My brother.
You're going to need to build a new room in your house just for all of these awards now.
Oh, my word.
I never realised how much of an impact aerodynamics has on sport. Football kits, badminton, cricket, it's in everything.
Exactly that. And while there is vast research in motorsports, there's also work going on behind the scenes to make sports faster and to give athletes the edge. So if you want to see more, look for clips on btsport.com and make sure to join us next time for more of the amazing science and maths behind sport everywhere.
This is the moment they've been waiting for, and that's the winning combination. It's a numbers game plus Santander, a perfect partnership on BT Sport.